class. And even if you didn't take that, if you're kind of curious and want to know more, please stay on. It's an extra little time commitment, though, to do that. So to start our Chair Tai Chi class, we do that right fist. Now, y'all have to figure out which one that is. And that flat left palm. So this is the sun, and this is the moon. And then we bow down to one another in respect to start our Chair Tai Chi class. We normally do this in a Tai Chi class. So from here, I invite you to feel your feet into the floor. So gently push your feet into the floor. And then that gets us out of our busy mind back into our body. So we're going to be doing stuff today where you're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. You're in the now. You're in the present moment. So that's all good stuff. From here, I invite you to place your hand below your belly button and the other hand above that. We do what's called low belly breathing in Tai Chi. We also do some of that sometimes in yoga. So what this is as you breathe in, your belly expands forward, which is different, okay? And as you exhale, you draw that belly button towards your spine, contract that belly towards your spine. So let's do that. Relax those shoulders and let's breathe in, belly out. And then exhale, contract that belly button towards your spine. Now mine doesn't go too far out because I've got a little belly on me, but when I contract it, it really does draw in. Again, let's do that again. Breathe in, belly out. Exhale, belly button towards your spine. If this feels weird, just breathe, okay? Again, breathe in, belly out, and exhaling. Now, why would we want to do lower belly breathing? Well, there's like 3 or 4 reasons, and I'm going to tell you 3. It helps to reduce your heart rate, lower your blood pressure. It also helps you to have better cerebral spinal fluid flow up into your brain to get rid of the waste that accumulates each day. We normally get rid of our brain waste when we're in sleep that is REM sleep. If you're a bad sleeper, you don't get into that state, then maybe you have a little bit of brain fog, a little kind of not feeling, up to par. So engaging the low belly, below that belly button, is also a physical way to get that cerebral spinal fluid to flow a little bit more. So what we're going to do next is called Atlas point rotation. We're basically going to take our nose and draw a circle. Now, if your eyes are following the circle and you notice kind of little dizzy stuff going on, have your eyes look forward instead. You'll get a little extra eye exercise when that happens. But again, some of us, when we have the eyes follow the motion, it invites vertigo. So I don't want you to invite vertigo today, okay? Always do what you can with what you got. I'm going to be quiet a little bit, just a little bit, so you can hear that little crinkly stuff going on. Or maybe in my case, I can hear my crinkly stuff going on. And let's pause and go the other way. Ooh, now for me, I feel that on that left side. It's like crinkle, crinkle. Little snap, crackle, pop going on there. Soften those neck and shoulder muscles with that Atlas point rotation. Again, your range of motion may be totally different than what mine is. Your circle may be tinier, it may be bigger. It's okay. You're going to do whatever's good for you, okay? And then bring it back to the center. Next is swimming dragons. We place the hands together, and you can hook the thumbs. It's optional, okay? I just press my palms together, and I'm sitting up. I'm away from the back of the chair, so I engage those tall posture muscles. If I can talk, it'd be dangerous. We're going to breathe in, again, belly out. And as we exhale, contract that belly button, push the hands one direction, turn the head the other direction. Ooh, notice if it's stiff here. And again, breathe in. Exhale, belly button tight, bring it back to the heart center. Stay here, breathe in. Belly big, exhale, push it away. Notice if the range of motion is different. Again, stay here, breathe in. Exhale, back to the center. Let's do one more each side. First, we stay here, breathe in, breathe in. Exhale, push it away. Range of motion. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale, back to the center. Softening those neck muscles, neck pain, range of motion. Breathe in. Exhale, push it away. And then bring it back to the center after we breathe. and exhale. Now we're going to do what's called the finishing breath. We inhale, circle, sweep arms up. This is where it's different than yoga. You bring the hands down the heart center as if your hands were on top of a ball. You're bringing the energy from the heavens back down to your dantian, your energy center here, a little bit below your belly button. It's about 2 finger widths below your belly button and about 2 finger widths in. So that's where we, as you collect energy and then send it out through different places in our body to heal blockages. So that's for another topic, but we're just going to go on, okay? So next is spread the feathers. So I'm going to spread out the fingers nice and wide. So imagine they're feathers. And then you're going to take a hand out to the side. I'm going to lower it a little bit. And then I'm going to take that thumb, turn it to the back of the room. So I'm going to feel a little contraction of that arm go on. Then I'm going to take my opposite ear, drop it, draw towards my shoulder. It's a little spicy. And you know, when you have spice in a yoga or a Tai Chi posture, you know what? You just invite attention to breathing in through the nose, listen to it, feel it, and then exhale. Sometimes it allows you to stay in the pose. Sometimes it didn't help. So whatever you can do, okay? Now we're going to take that chin and look the chin towards where the wall meets the ceiling. So in other words, you're kind of drawing a smile with your chin. And we're going to take that chin towards your chest. And then towards that side where the arm is extended. Woo! And then bring everything back to the center. Let's do the other side. So this opens up the blood flow in the carotid and improves blood flow to the brain. So it's a very beneficial pose. Again, spread out those fingers, hand out to the side. I'm going to lower mine just a little bit and then turn my thumb to the back of the room. If you need to bend the elbow, that's cool. Now you're going to take your other ear, drop it towards your shoulder. Now, sometimes what I do is I take the hand out to the side and it gives it a little bit more kind of towards the floor kind of sensation. But if that's spicy, hand stays on that leg, yeah? And then take the chin, look where the wall meets the ceiling. So it's like at the top of the smile, the half circle that we're going to do. Again, keep turning that thumb to the back of the room. Don't lose that, okay? Now, drop the chin towards your chest slowly. Nothing fast going on today. And then towards that extended arm side, up towards where that wall meets the ceiling. And then bring everything back in. Woo! From here, let's spin those wrists. Loosen those wrists, good for carpal tunnel, good for bringing air across your chest if you need that. I need that. I can never win, you know, here in Texas. It's either too hot, too cold. It's never just right, okay? And then reverse, go the other way. So my reverse feels weird to me because that left hand is not as kind of flexible as that right hand. Of course, my right hand is my dominant side. It is what it is. Whew. And again, I love the reverse because again, it gives me a little bit more air coming across my neck, my face. And then from here, we're going to cup the hands and throw the arms. And there's this little bit of business where maybe you're kind of leaning forward or not. Now, just know, if you don't like to be sitting in the chair, a lot of these you can do standing, okay? I'm not going to cue the standing because this is Chair Tai Chi, but just know you can alternatively stand and do these postures. Just have your feet about shoulder width apart. Now, tap the tops of the back or top of the shoulders. Again, lubricating those shoulders, those elbows. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more. From here, let's do alternate shoulder rolls. Let's take them back. So this is to prevent, we're going to add in that neck hump easing also. But again, kind of, get some loosening here, get some little movement going on here. And then let's reverse that. I always think reverse feels and looks weird. At least on my body, it's like, what am I doing here? And then what we're going to do, we're going to shrug our shoulders towards our ears, and you're squeezing your armpits, you're strengthening that upper back musculature. It's going to feel weird, okay? Just know that. And you're going to turn halfway to the side, your chin aligned with your chest, and release it down. So this is like the dowager's hump prevention, and you bring it back to the center. Let's do that again. Shoulders towards your ears, up towards your ears, and then turn halfway to the side. And then release them down. Woo. And back to the center. Next is wild goose flutter. We're going to bring some energy into these fingers, into the arms, into the wrists. So we basically kind of shake those arms up and down. Now I'm kind of going at an angle here. And then I'm going to take one to the front, one out to the side. I'm looking to the side when I do that. Switch sides. If you've got bracelets on, you're going to hear a little noise. And then I'm going to go back to the front at those angles. I'm going to try to go straight out to the side. I can't go very high up when I go straight out to the side, but when I go at an angle, I can go a little bit higher. Very good. And then from here, I'm going to scoot over to one side of my chair, and then we're going to do what's called sturt arm. So you have an arm here to the side, and you're drawing an oval or a circle. And some of us that got spicy shoulders may want to put a hand on the shoulder. And if you want to, do this, you might also feel the shoulder kind of doing that clink, 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 clink. Yeah. Maybe the circle is smaller. Maybe it's bigger. Maybe it's faster. It's okay either way. Okay. And then let's pause and go the other way. Again, inviting range of motion in that shoulder complex. I love it. Next, after this, after we do the other side, we're going to do the big 6 lymphatic drainage. So let's make this smaller, smaller, and smaller. You might notice a little kind of tingling going on. That's a little bit of energy going on there. Let's get over to the other side again. Your hand on the leg, hand on the shoulder, and start drawing that shape. This one I have the hand on the leg because this is not my spicy side. That's my word for it. Do you have a spicy side? You probably do if you were coming to this class originally for back care because, we got issues with the tissues. Man, we want to do stuff to help relieve that. Chair Tai Chi helps with that too. And then reverse, go the other way. Here we go. Mine tends to go way out on this one. I don't know, maybe because it's not the spicy side, yeah? Just keep breathing. And then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Beautiful. What we're going to do now is clap the hands. Oh, do that again. And then kind of rub into those. Maybe you're, making meatballs or cookies here, called ignite the fire, or maybe you're just kind of trying to do that fire with the stick, yeah? And then move it into the fingers. This is great for hand and finger circulation, by the way, which you probably already know, yeah? Okay. So for the big 6, what we do is lymphatic drainage. And it's also known as Qigong detoxing. We're going to take the hands, spread out the hands, and bring fingers above and below the collarbone and stroke from kind of like the edge of your shoulder inward to that, the sternum. So this is the low pressure area above and below the collarbone. Now you're not digging, it's just like stroking across. You can also gently tap. You want to know more information about this, it's called Big 6, hashtag Big 6. I'll try to remember to put that in the email. But you know me, I'm going to forget, right? Let's do the other side. So why are we doing this? Again, we're trying to invite lymphatic flow. We're trying to have less inflammation in the body. When you go to the doctor and you're sick, he always kind of pokes around, he or she always pokes around your neck to see if you have swollen lymph nodes, yes? Lymph glands. Well, this is part of that to keep that kind of maintenance at bay, yeah? Now, the next part is spreading out the hands again. Bring fingers in front of the ears and in back of the ears. Now, I do one side at a time. So I bring it down the jawline and then down the side of the neck. Now, make sure my fingers go back here on that bumpy part in the back of the head too, because they'll have a lot of lymph node nests back there too. You might notice some nasal sinus drainage. You may have to swallow some extra saliva. You might notice a little bit of a headache if you have inflammation, because you're like clearing the pipes, okay? Think about your feet. If they're swelling, how do they return the blood flow or the lymphatic fluids from the feet? You got to work from low pressure to high pressure to make that happen. Let's do the other side. Here we go. Down the side of the jawline, down the side of the neck. Just kind of alternate that. There's always different ways to do the same thing. So just kind of know that, okay? Okay. Now, next is you kind of make a right angle with your hand. This is one way to do this, and you bring it into the armpit. So you got your thumb here in your pectoral. You kind of massage that area, and you kind of push into your armpit, or you can tap, or you can do circles. So men and women that get breast cancer, they're checking these lymph node areas to see if the cancer has moved to this. So let's just keep maintenance on this. Keep it clear, all right? When I had my mammogram here, when was that? November, they also did an ultrasound of, the breast and the armpit. And I was going, ooh, the armpit. And so other side. So they were checking to see if there's any stuff going on in my lymph nodes. It was clear as a whistle, okay? I was like, yay. But I was surprised because I've never had that done before. I was always jealous of the boys that could take their arm and make that sound when I was in grade school. So this is my version of that. Okay, now the funny part, I'm gonna bring my feet a little bit wider here. I gotta find that below my ribs here. Now this is, I've added on this. So sometimes that diaphragm is like kind of stuck up in underneath those ribs. I've had challenge breathing sometimes. So take my fingers here at the center and I pull across. Now that might be spicy. Just notice if it is, okay? And then we can do just normal stuff here. We can pat your belly. You can chop it. You can do fists, you can do up and downs, you can do circles. If you're doing circles, go from the top to the left. So that's clockwise, I believe. So that's, to aid in digestion, elimination. So this helps with that, okay? Just kind of know that, but you got to go top, left, bottom, right. Do the circle, yeah? So your torso, your gut is considered to be your second brain in your body, according to traditional Chinese medicine. Now, next, where the leg inserts into the torso, we have this little crease here. The qua is what we call it in Tai Chi, iguanal crease. Otherwise, you can take the sides of the hands and chop the qua, or you can stroke across. But mixed company, let's just chop, okay? And I'm a little more vigorous on this than I am like at the collarbone. So let's see, ovarian, uterine, prostate cancer. Guess what they're going to check? Do you have any cancer in these lymph node nests? So again, maintenance. Let's get it going, okay? All right, last of the big six is the back of the knees. We have a lot of lymph node nests at the back of the knees. Now what we're going to do here is clap the hands again, get some heat going on. We're going to add on to this. And then we're going to place a little bit of heat softly, gently on the knees. Again, this is the Qigong detox, lymphatic drainage, and in reverse. Maybe come up on the pads of the fingers that stimulates those acupressure points. It's almost ticklish. But okay, for me, it's almost ticklish. And then we're going to take the pad of the hand, gently tap, tap, tap the outside. So that's for the gallbladder meridian. Notice if it feels spicy to you, okay? And then softly, the inside, the stomach. So this one's more spicy for me. Oof. And again, like we did before, we did that kind of those thumbs up kind of thing. You can go back behind the knee and either stroke the back of the knee, or you can chop softly, softly. The bottoms of the hamstrings, the top of the calves. If you have any swelling, edema, and you do some kind of thing for that, what's better for you is that you do the big six. You go all the way down to the knee and then do whatever you're doing for reducing edema, swelling in those ankles, in those feet. All right, that was the end of the big six. Clap those hands, rub some heat. And let's go ahead and bring a leg out here. I'm kind of hopping that leg out. Rest on the back of the heel and invite the toes towards you. Woo, that feels a little tight there. So this is to help prevent foot cramps, improve ankle flexibility. And of course, when we start the pumping, that's considered to be your second heart, gets that blood flow back to the heart. So let's point it away. Now I'm on carpet here today, so this might be a little tough for me. We're going to point and flex. So here we go. I'm just doing the best I can, okay? Point and flex. It may be easier where you're at. Maybe you're on tile or linoleum or wood floor. Maybe it's like going like crazy, right? So again, this is also a blood glucose lowering technique, the calf pumps, that second heart. It's a University of Houston study, so kind of look that up. Calf pumps, University of Houston. You can kind of read more about that. All right, and then bring it in. We're going to do the other one. If you need to have a little bend in the knee, just know that's okay. If it feels weird on your behind, you may have to scoot more here on the edge of your chair and invite the toes towards you. Woo! Notice what you notice. Is this side more tight versus the first side? Okay. I'm already starting to sweat. But I'm doing this, okay? And then point it away. And then let's get that pump going. So here we go. Oof. The next thing we're going to do is foot rotation and let me see here, strengthening the knees. So again, foot rotation, that type of thing, is to help us strengthen our ankles, which help us have better walking ability. So, very beneficial. We kind of work it from the top down, okay? And then we work it back on up, and we just kind of go back and forth. And then bring it in. Yay. So next is a foot rotation. Now, what I'm going to do is scoop my booty back a little bit. And you can do this a couple of different ways. You can have hands underneath the knee pit and lift the leg. Or what I like to do is I like to interlace my fingers on my shin and then kind of lean back and lean back a little bit more so I can feel the shin muscles. I'm going to point and flex again. Oof. And your shin may start to fatigue. Just kind of know that this is typical in this. And we're going to pause, and then we're going to take our foot and draw it inward. And there may be a lot of snap, crackle, pops going on. Again, help you with your ankle mobility. And then reverse, go the other way. The reverse always feels like very much of a challenge for me. Just notice what you notice. And there goes my foot. It's making pop noises. There it goes. And release. Let's do the other one again. Either hands back behind the knee pit or interlace those fingers if you can. And I'm kind of hunched forward here, and I'm going to lean back. And again, start that point and flex. Sometimes fingers on the shin is spicy, so you may have to do fingers back behind the knee. Yeah. And then let's draw the circle inward. Goodness. And reverse, go the other way. And my circles get bigger because I don't have the control over this side like I do the other side. And, again, just notice what you notice, right? Very good. And release. So the knee strengtheners is you got to scoot your body way back in the chair and where your behind's in that chair as best you can, right? And then what we'll do, it might be a little spicy, so bear with me, okay? You're going to lift a foot up. Show me the bottom of your foot. You probably can't see it because I've got black on, but it is what it is. And I'm going to lift my leg because it feels weird on the chair. And then toes towards you. Hello, behind. And then lower, hover. Don't let it touch the floor. And then point the toes. Very good. And release. Let's do the other side. I'm not quite in my chair, right? Okay. Other side. Flex the foot. Woo. Lift it up if you need to. I always have to lift mine. And then lower, hover, and point the toe. And release. So again, we're strengthening the knee, the ligaments, all this stuff around the knee. So this is very beneficial. Let's do the other side. We're going to add some brain stuff with the next one. So flex the foot, flex the opposite hand. And so upper and lower body, left and right side. And lower, hover, bring the hand down, point the toe, point the finger. Now, up and down with the hand. So a little core here, little core, just a little bit. And release. Other side. Flex the foot, press that palm. Notice what you notice. Ooh, little spice going on there. And then lower, lower, lower. Hover, remember to hover, okay? And then point the toe, point the fingers, and up and down with the hand. Again, you may notice upper, middle, lower abdominals. Yay or not. And release. Woo! One more set. It's going to be a little different. Again, flex the foot, flex the hand, add the other hand. Don't forget to breathe. And then lower, lower, lower. Point the toe, point the fingers, up and down with the hands. Again, a little bit of core challenge here. Just a little bit. And release. Yay, that side's over. One more. Here we go. Flex foot, flex both hands. Don't forget to breathe. And then lower, lower, lower. And here we go. Point the toe, point the fingers. Last one. Up and downs. I love it. And release. I'm going to scoot forward a little bit. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the energy from the heavens back down to your dantian. Yay. Hand beside your body. You have your palm facing you. What we're going to do is turn the palm towards the back of the room, pinky towards me. This is called Kuan Yin Paints the Rainbow. Range of motion. And here we go. Inhaling up. And then exhale, woo, back behind you. Snap, crackle, pop. And then inhale, gather both hands up, flip the hand, do the other one down. Now take that thumb, turn it to the back of the room, pinky towards me. Here we go. Other side. Breathe in, up, 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 up. Exhale. You may have to turn your chest a little bit back behind you. That's okay. Just know that, okay? And then inhale, gather them together, flip it, bring the other one down. Turn that thumb away, pinky towards me. Here we go. Breathe in, up, 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 up. Exhale, back behind you. Ooh. Inhale, gather, flip, bring it down. Okay, turn that thumb away, pinky towards me. Very good. Inhaling, up, up, up. Do what you can. Bend that elbow if you need to. Exhale, back behind you. Last time, inhale, gather, flip it, lower it down. Turn that thumb away, pinky towards me. Here we go. Breathe in, up, 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 up. Exhale, back behind you. Snap, crackle, pop. Inhale, gather, flip it, bring it down. Turn that thumb away, pinky towards me. Last time, yay. Breathe in. Exhale, back behind you. Inhale, gather them up, flip it down, exhaling. And then inhale, circle, sweep arms up, bring down fists. Let's do eagle claw. So fists down to your waist. So we're going to inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high, push it towards the sky, elbow bent if you like. Inhale, back to your chest, open up the hand. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, back to your chest, increasing mobility, folks. Exhale, out to the side. Now we're going to open and close the hand 5 times. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to your waist. Switch sides. Inhale, fist to chest, eagle claw. Exhale, sky high, reach, 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 reach. Beautiful. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up that hand like a little stop sign. Exhale, push it forward. Stay with your breath. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, turn your head if you can, out to the side. Open and close. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. One more time this side. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high, reach. Beautiful. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the hands. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, out to the side. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to your waist. Last time. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up that hand and press it forward. Inhale, back to your chest. Spread out those fingers. Exhale, out to the side. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. And let's do inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then exhale, bring it on down. Beautiful. Now we're going to do what's called spinal cord breathing. It's like a variation of seated cat-cow like we do in yoga, but not. Similar, but not. So remember those cupped hands where we swung the hands? We're going to cup them in front of us instead. Here about collarbone level. And then we're going to inhale, elbows, belly up. So there's your cow pose. And then exhale, curve your spine to the back of the chair, forehead near your fist. Now, when we come out of the pelvic tilt, it might be spicy. Inhale, elbows up, slow, slow, slow. Exhale, bring it back on down. Extension and flexion of the spine. Very, very good. Inhale, elbows up, 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 up. Exhale, back to your fist. Now we're going to turn to the side a little bit. So inhale, elbows up. Massaging those kidneys, those livers, bring it back. Other side. Inhale, elbows up, splitting gallbladder. Exhale, back to the center. Let's do one more to the center. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, back down to the center. And then come out of that pelvic tilt. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring the hands down the heart center. Let's do the blood pressure technique, whether it's high or low. So there's your little heart. Bring it down, and then you bring the hands in front of you. You have your thumb into your palm, fingers on top of the thumb. That stimulates the heart meridian. And you inhale, elbows back, chest forward. And then here, for the pericardium, you're going to turn your hand out to the side. So you're stimulating the meridian for that. So arms out to the side. And again, inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down the heart center, whether your blood pressure is low or high. Grab those thumbs, elbows back, chest forward. Breathe in. Exhale, arms out to the side. Let's do one more. Inhale, up, up, up. Help balance that blood pressure. Exhale, bring it down. Grab those thumbs. Inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Exhale, out to the side. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Finishing breath. Hands come down the heart center. Here we go. Here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's do a little bit more for the feet. So bring the feet together. We're doing what's called jitterbug. And again, I'm away from the back of the chair a little bit so I engage those tall posture muscles. And again, ankle bones, knees apart, or basically heel toe out to the side. You may notice one foot's more strong than the other when you do this. And I'm using that upper body. I'm twisting the upper body. If you don't want to twist, you can just keep it, to the center. You can hang on to the chair and just do the legs. Okay. So kind of do what you need to do. Yeah. And I'm kind of warming up my seat with my behind. So my behind's hot. Okay, there you go. Only time it's hot today, it's going to be right here. And one more time to one side, and then join me back here at the center, okay? I kind of twist more on that left than I do the right. Oh, well. So I'm going to take my toes together and my heels out. Now we're going to walk them independently out and in. So here we go. Ooh, this may be where you notice, ooh, that right one, is it stronger than the left one? And you may tap the heels or the toes when you come to the center, whatever you can do, yeah? Bring it in. Are your shins or your ankles starting to get tired yet? I want to know. They probably are. And we're going to work the hips next. You're thinking, oh, we haven't worked the hips. We're going to work it next. Don't worry. Here we go. One more in, and then one more out. Oof, and bring it in. So next is called sumo stomp, but we start it with the air version. So we slide it out to the side and in. So basically, kind of making a little half angel here. Now imagine there's a soccer ball here and you want to hop over the soccer ball. Maybe your hands are underneath the knee to help facilitate this. Or maybe you can do this with your own muscular strength. But I like the hand underneath the knee because I go a little bit more out of my normal range of motion. But that's just me. Okay. Now let's do the other side. Again, slide it out, snap, crackle, pop. This is your getting in and out of the car motion. For most of us that have spicy back pain, you notice the ear when you get in and out of the car. At least I do. Now add a little air to it. Again, you can have a hand underneath where you can see what your strength is, one side versus the other. Okay, so this is the sumo stomp. Now, if you want one more. Now, if you want to add a little more to that, maybe you want to do a little foot pounding on the floor if you don't have brittle bones. Maybe you want to add a little vocalization. This is called sumo ruckus. So basically, I'm going to do it with the hand underneath, okay? So I'm going to do hi-ya. I let it drop and bring it back. Hi-ya. Other side. Hi-ya. I don't hear y'all. Hi-ya. Maybe I do. Hi-ya. Hi-ya. Again. Hi-ya. I know, it seems silly. Hi-ya. One more time each side. Hi-ya. Let it drop. Hi-ya. There we go. Hi-ya. Whatever you want to do. Hi-ya. Beautiful. From here, stomp those feet. Throw a fit. And then come up on the balls of the feet and shake the legs, shake the arms. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Shake the shoulders. Beautiful. And then inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down that energy. Next is called swallow fly sit in this. So we're going to have a palm up, bring it out to the side, and then inhale, bring it across. Exhale out to the side. I'm going to bring my feet a little wider. Inhale, up and over, side lateral flexion in yoga. And then exhale out here in front. And then bring it back to the center. Switch sides. Inhale, bring it across. Exhale out to the side. Inhale, up and over. And then exhale. And bring it back. Now I'm going to add the poem to this. So swallow flies east, breathe in. Swallow flies west, bring it out. Swallow flies up and over. And exhale, lands in its nest. Other side. Breathe in, swallow flies east. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over. And lands in its nest. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale up and over. And exhale. Other side. Inhale, bring it across. Exhaling. Inhale, up and over. And exhale. Bring it back to the center. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the energy from the heavens back down to your cauldron, back down to your container, your dantian. So one of the things we do in Veterans Yoga Project, we do the breathing, we do the mindful movement, we do the meditation, the guided rest, relaxation, and the gratitude practice. So in Tai Chi version of that, when we breathe with the movements, that's considered to be very meditative. It helps you lower your cortisol, which is linked to increased belly fat. So there's like a scientific reason for doing like Tai Chi and for doing yoga because of us coordinating movements with the breath. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, okay? So next is step forward and back. Maybe you hang on to your chair. Maybe you do little steps. Maybe you imagine the steps, whatever you're doing. It's called cross crawl. And what we're going to try to do is just kind of march the arms. They may be opposite arm and leg. It may be the same side, arm and leg. Don't worry, just keep moving, okay? Again, a little bit of movement using one side of the brain and the other, upper and lower body. So it's all good, okay? Little dementia prevention going on here. Let's do two more. 2 and 1. Now, did you remember which foot you went forward with first? I didn't, so I don't know what I did. So I'm gonna do the other foot forward, maybe. So do the other foot forward or not. Keep marching. Do you normally step forward with your right foot or your left foot, or do you even know? You're probably trained to know, right? I don't know. 2 and 1. Very good. Shake those legs. Again, that helps to prevent leg cramps. Stomp those feet. Very good. And then inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And bring down the chi. Next is called the teacup exercise. So this is a little bit more like mind-blowing, as in it's a little different, okay? The objective is, you think about, there's a cup here in your hand and you've got hot tea, you're imagining this, and the objective is, if you can, to keep the palm up. It might get a little complicated, just know that, okay? So we're sitting up tall, we're away from the back of the chair. That's another thing, you need to be away from the back of the chair because you're gonna hide your teacup in just a second. So palm up, and then we bring the elbow out to the side, just kind of here near our ribs. And then we bring the hand back behind you. So you hide your hand. Now, whatever arm it is, you're going to take the opposite shoulder, lean out, because you're going to bring the arm out to the side, palm up. And you kind of glance, is it palm up? Hopefully it is, yeah? Then you're going to draw a low circle, keeping the palm up. Lean back. Oh my gosh. And then bring it back to the center. Now, did you spill your tea? Most likely you did. We're going to do the same side again. So bring your elbow back, turn the elbow out, hide your hand, lean out, arm out to the side, palm up. Now, belly button tight. You draw a low circle, lean back, and you're trying to keep that palm up. I have to look at it to make sure it happens, because usually I'm like spilling my tea all over the place. Let's do it again. Palm up, elbow back, turn the elbow out to the side, hide your hand, lean out, and bring the palm up. Okay, here we go. Belly button tight, draw that low circle, lean back, keep that spiral going, and bring it back in. It's called the teacup exercise. Now let's do the other side. So palm up, and you bring your elbow back and turn that elbow out to the side. Now we're going to sneak our hand behind us. Now lean that other shoulder out, and then bring your arm out, palm up. Okay, I don't know if I can do it. You're going to draw a low circle. Ooh, this one's the challenging side. And then bring it back on in. Some people get fancy on this. They like dramatically bring it in. You can do that too if you want to, or, doesn't matter. Palm up, bring the elbow back, turn the elbow out to the side, hide your hand. Very good. You feel that squeeze of the armpit here. Lean out, bring the arm out, palm up. Okay, I'm looking at it, palm up. Start drawing your circle, start challenging your core. There may be some grunting that goes on in this one. Good thing the sound's off. Again, bring your elbow back, elbow out, hide your hand. This is the last one today, okay? Bring your palm out. Here we go. Draw it low. Again, this is good for your core, good for your back challenges, and bring it back in. Beautiful. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the energy. Now I'm going to come up a little bit closer. We're going to do a little bit of energy work. If you want to come closer, you can, or where you're at, that's all right too. This is a hand tapping sequence that we often do in Chair Tai Chi and in the yoga that I teach. So we're basically going to take the sides of the hands and gently tap, tap, tap. So this is for lessening headache and vertigo. So it's not whapping, okay? It's gently tapping. We do a little sampler in this class, but typically you would do each location about a minute each, okay? We're not doing a minute each today, but I just want to give you all this, this experience. And I have a longer video on my YouTube channel if you want to do a minute each, okay? Tap, tap, tap. All right, so the next one is for, I'm looking at my list, if you're wondering what I'm doing here, is for digestive disorders for nausea. So you find that web of the hand and you tap, tap, tap into that web of the hand. I'm gonna lower my shoulders. Sometimes when I have my arms up, I get tired. I want to demonstrate that. So tap, tap, tap. Again, it's not whapping, it's tapping into that acupressure point. Now you normally do this a typical way. So now we're going to make it, again, brain work. We're going to stop and then switch it and go back to tapping. So it's like, wait a minute, your brain kind of goes, what? So we're creating new neural pathways when we do things that are not that are not ordinary. Inordinary? I'm not sure what it's called. Okay, so the next place is the valleys of the fingers. So we're going to tap into the valleys of the fingers. Now, you normally typically interlace your fingers a certain way. That's, associated with how you do stuff. And what is this one for? It's for pain and numbness in the limbs, arms, legs, okay? So this addresses, in these little valleys, keep tapping while I talk, it addresses all these different meridians in our body, okay? Now we're going to pause, wiggle the top finger, and then switch the other finger to be on top. Again, you're going to kind of weird out here because it's like, ooh, this doesn't feel right because it's not your normal way of interlacing your fingers. Okay, yep, y'all have a normal way of doing this, and we're just challenging that. Okay, it's good. It's good. Again, pain or numbness in the limbs. Now I'm scooped back here on my chair. I'm going to scoot forward a little bit because this next one, I kind of use a little bit more arm business. So remember when we cup the hands, we're going to tap on the back of the hand. Now, if you've got rings, you're going to curve your hand to where your rings aren't touching the top of your hand. So this is for, I skipped one, osteoarthritis, back pain. Don't worry, I'll come back to it. Again, not whapping, just a gentle tap. And my veins kind of really show up when I do that. I wish they would have done that when they did my heart surgery. They really got, they poked me a bunch on that one. Woo. Let's do the other one. Now I've got a ring on this one, so I'm going to curve it a little bit more and tap, tap, tap. Other side. Osteoarthritis, back pain. So again, several different meridians that run through the top of the hand. Now shift that to the back of the wrists. That's for neck and shoulder pain. Now you may have to move bracelets, watches, or go below or above that. And again, if you have rings, you're cupping it a little bit more. Let's do the other one. I'm going to go below my watch on the other one. Makes a nice little sound. Now the one I skipped is the one we're going to do next. So pericardium meridian, your pulse point, that's for your heart and cardiovascular. So a lot of people do it like this, but I like to go up and down because then we get to do it a little bit longer. So tap, tap, tap at that pulse point. Okay, again, it's not whapping, it's just tapping. All right. And then flip it. Now I have some folks that put their hand on their leg and they do this, but when I do that, I'm doing a little bit too much vigor. So I do it in the air. Yeah. Again, heart cardiovascular challenges. And then one of my favorites is to make a fist and punch your palms. So that's good for lessening anxiety, improves clarity, consciousness. You notice your strength also, one side versus the other. Makes a little sound. Let's do the other one. Now this is my weaker side, so that's what I notice. Or maybe because I had the ring over here. I don't know. All right, now let's take our hands and clap them once again. Get a little heat here. We're going to do what they call the mother forms. Normally do this standing in Tai Chi, but we're going to do some of these seated. So from here, get a little heat here. And then bring your hands to your chest. Place your hands on your chest, elbows down a little bit, and then bring your hands forward. And so what you're trying to do is line up the fingers here. So you're holding the Tai Chi ball is what this is called. Lining up the fingers, elbows down, relax shoulders, and then draw your arms outward. And then softly bring them in. Let's breathe in together. And as we exhale, draw them outward. You might feel a little tingling sensation going on with your hands. And then exhale and bring them in. Let's do that again. Breathing out. And in. Now we're going to hold this. So this may be a little challenging. Again, elbows down, shoulders relaxed, fingers aligned. You're looking kind of at that in-between space between the fingers. So there's an energy cycle that's going on when you hold your arms in a circle. It's kind of going across the chest and through the fingers. So just see if you kind of feel any kind of sensation happening. You may or may not, and it's okay either way, all right? It's also called the Wuji stance or the empty stance. Be empty of mind, thinking about seeing if you can feel a sensation, getting your mind out of thoughts from the past, thoughts in the future, staying in the now. Whew. All right, now you may feel a little bit of tension build up in the chest and the arms. So what we're going to do is take the arms out to the side, kind of at an angle here, and then point those fingers down. Relax those shoulders. So you may notice a heaviness in the fingertips. So just imagine there's whatever that no longer serves you today is kind of exiting out the fingertips. It's kind of a woo-woo out there kind of thought, but let's just kind of go with it, all right? Very good. And then I invite you to bring your hands here low on your belly, relax your shoulders. You can either have your eyes gaze forward, down at the floor, or eyes closed. Or maybe you want to scoot back in your chair, get a little bit more comfortable. That works too. What we'll be doing is what's called an elongated breath. And again, that's breath technique for lowering blood pressure, heart rate. So that's kind of like with the white coat syndrome. If they give you a little time, maybe you can do this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clap my hands 4 times for the inhale breath. You'll pause, and then we'll exhale for a count of 5. If this breath does not resonate with you, just breathe, okay? Just all you have to do is listen to my voice. So as we're here with the hands on the belly, shoulders relaxed, we're going to start. So breathe in, pausing, slowly exhale. Again, breathe in, belly expands. Pausing a moment, and then slowly exhale. One more time. Breathe in, belly big. Slowly exhale. Beautiful. Now you can continue to rest your hands on your belly, or maybe hands, palms up, resting on your legs, or maybe you feel comfortable hands to heart center. But I'm going to do hands on my legs today. And then I invite you, if it's available, maybe drop your chin towards your chest, eyes gazing down at the floor. And again, as you breathe in, envision the top of the head, there's a hole opening up, and it's inviting bright sunshine to come in through the crown of the head. And then it's kind of saturating the entire body with that bright sunshine, all the way from the top of the head, all the way down to the tips of the toes. It's bringing that healing energy of the sunshine, saturating every cell in your body, getting into all the muscles, all the tendons, all those bones. Again, as you breathe in, healing sunshine. And as you exhale, just let go of what no longer serves you today. Let it go out through the back side of your body, wherever your back touching the chair, whether you're and your feet touching the floor. Let all the stuff that's dark, that negative energy, whatever's kind of like bothersome, let it go out through whatever's touching the floor, whatever's touching the chair. And again, breathe in and exhaling. Imagine your body fully healed, fully whole, bringing in that healing sunshine to those areas of concern. And then from here, just kind of flutter those eyes open. And I invite you this time, either hands stacked on your heart or hands together. And this is our gratitude practice. So I invite you to drop your chin towards your chest in gratitude of showing up today, for registering for this class, maybe watching the replay. Think about one thing that you are grateful for, or at least an idea of gratitude, and kind of grab it, clasp it, place it into your heart space just for a moment here. And just kind of think about that just for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, I appreciate y'all's dedication, discipline, determination, and responsibility for signing up for a class, for coming to class, for maybe watching the playback video later for your own healing journey. So I applaud you for taking the initiative for your self-healing journey. That's really good. And then from here, lift your eyes, lift your chin, scoot away from the back of the chair, and we're going to end the class as we began it. So we do that right fist, that's the sun, and that flat left palm, that's the moon. And we bow down to one another in respect to end our Chair Tai Chi class. This concludes our Chair Tai Chi. So now what I'm going to do is stop the recording. So let me come up to the front of the room. Oop, I'm making a lot of noise here. Let me stop the recording.